something that Bigetron Beta does not mind going for. Heading to draft for game 1, the bands are already up on the tables. Roger, Novaria, Chip, Moskov, Angela, and Harith.
All right, so I'm expecting to see this Natan actually show up pretty early on for the side of Bigetron Beta. Whether it be the first or second phase doesn't really matter at this point. Usually they pair it up with the Fredrin just to have some kind of like strong front line that scales throughout the game.
Correct me if I'm wrong. My geography isn't that good, but if my eyes weren't deceiving me, CFU Gaming has one of the coaches from China.
You know what? I was looking at the draft graphic. I'm not 100% sure about this because now Bigetron Beta will have access to this Lo Yi. So Dan QT now is going to be able to send support to Zyve's side of the map.
Right, we got a confirmation from Zipper. Yes, well, it's good to see. I mean, it's good to see that the region of China is also exporting talents. But Yuzhong now for CFU Gaming, very strong opener. Let's see if they're gonna stick with the Fredrin or first go for the Grok. No, it's gonna be the Edith. So no, it's a very, very honest opening.
Yeah, I mean, considering OP's performance on the Edith, I wouldn't be too surprised to see him just like flicker engage on anything he sees. We see the Natan coming up from Bigetron Beta as expected. They gotta pair it up with something here. I'm guessing it's going to be the Fredrin to be really, really safe. They could get the Arla if they want to, but then again, they are on the blue side.
Well, Matilda. I mean, Matilda is still up, right? But they get the Baxia first just to secure a good jungle, so not be too worried even if a Fredrin goes through. But
wow,
it's not going to be Fredrin, it's Ling, CFU. Just coming out the gate swinging.
I'm gonna be real with you, right? Something about Myanmar and their Ling players, they're really good. Even in their ranked public games, they're actually disgusting to play against.
I've met a couple in my ranked game. It's not fun. It's not fun.
It's not. They can carry the game solo, right? And this is Kamai ranked games as well. I remember going over to MSE thinking like, oh, I'm gonna have the best ranked games of my life, and then I saw the difference in Lings, and I was like, oh my goodness, they are wild.
That's where the aggression comes from, right? The heart of a beast.
Yeah, truly, honestly.
Matilda, Claude, both banned out. Bigetron Beta clamping down on the gold laner, but CFU mean paying respects, right? They take out the Florian also.
I think they were expecting to see the Claude within the first rotation, and that's why they went for their Baxia as per usual. But since they didn't, lock in their Claude, all right, might as well ban it out. And while you're at it, let's get rid of the carry as well, right? Oh, Ruby instead.
Okay.
Huh.
So they're willing to let the carry through, but yeah, is there any other options? No, right? It's just carry. Yeah.
Yeah, basically. I thought they probably wanted the Ruby for themselves. Narashi played a strong Ruby game yesterday. I would have liked to see him play it again.
You just keep your gold laner for last at this point. Oh wait, no, actually you can pick your gold laner now, right? You can save the mid for last? Go for last, actually. I think go for last makes more sense since they revealed Yuzhong already.
I suppose. It kind of doesn't matter what they reveal. No matter what, they're going to get the other pick, right? It's
Vexana?
Would they prefer the Vexana or would they prefer the Valentina?
Or Varamis.
You're right. The Varamis actually works pretty well, but they're going to go with the Valentina just to stay a little aggressive here. I guess they... I do think the Varamis would have been a pretty good option. They have a strong dive comp as well. Yeah,
Valentina, who... So far, no good abilities yet, aside from Diversion. See the last two picks for Bigetron, they are still looking for the XP and the roam. Arlet is still up on the table if you want to set up. Or they can just go for Grok into the Edith.
I think both are totally fine at this point, right? Both are completely okay. The Edith has already gone to CFU Game Insight, so that means the Grok is still available. They can't go for their double support. I mean, they still technically can go for the Minotaur, but they need something that can actually catch and slow down the Ling in the first place, right? So that's why I was a little confused about the Ruby ban initially, but they're going to go with the Arla instead, and the Franco.
So double lockdown, especially Franco. Whoever you catch is surely going to go down. And that's going to help the Natan accelerate. This inevitably will go down to them pocketing everything onto Zyve. So this is the Roma review. Potentially, no, actually, yeah, it's a goal lane review for CFU.
Unless they decide, you know what, let's throw CC into the gold lane one more time. Let's show them how it's done, a real death ball composition. That would be very exciting.
Beatrix, Brody, carry. Man, there really isn't much option that can escape, that can reliably just face off against a Franco Arlet.
Yeah, it's not simple. It's not simple. I mean, worst comes to worst, you just go for like,
Nabi, CC immunity.
the Nabi. Nah, it's definitely going to be the carry in this position. There's plenty of tanks to melt away, but the only problem is that she's short range, putting her at risk of getting bloody hunted or getting like one shot by Natan if he entropies forward, or arguably the worst one yet, getting hit by the yin-yang reaction.
Yep. It has to somehow get out of the lane in as good as a state as possible, right? You need to have a great laning stage, or else it's going to be hard to melt down Bigetron Beta's lineup.
Let's see how decisive CFU Gaming is going to be this time against the cool, calm, and collected Bigetron Beta, because they like to play it slow. They like to funnel a lot of gold into Zai, but they give up map pressure when they do so. Maybe that's something that's, that CFU can actually take advantage of.
And I mean, it's not just CFU. I believe like most of the teams from the Cambodian region, they can fail and initially engage, but if there's one thing they do is with the power of friendship, they will hard commit. And riding off the momentum of yesterday, let's see if CFU can continue that advancement, because the Sharks, they are hungry, and Bigetron, they are in red.
Yeah, the way that CFU plays is constant trades, right? Consistent trades against their opponent, whether equalizing or to get an advantage, doesn't really matter as long as they trade up.
Yes, it's one of the scariest ways to play. One of the scariest play styles to play against. In fact, you get so tired from all the trading and just trying to survive.
Yeah, you start to not look at the minimap as often because of how much action is going on. You're getting flickered on even though you've revealed zero information to your opponents. So it can get quite wild.
It's the sensory overload. We do have slight technical pause to make sure that both teams are in an optimal environment to function. We don't want any input delays or anything, especially if you're CFU. You don't want that link to miss a step. You slip off the ledge. That's lights out.
Yeah, it's going to be a very clean game coming in from Detective, because he has two ways of actually approaching these team fights. Either A, attack Dan QT from behind so even the splash damage doesn't affect the rest of his team, or force Zyve to actually take a bad trade, use his entropy, and then attack him after he swaps place.
Now, one of the few heroes that even with the entropy is not that easy to escape from, right? Link can close the distance, and if he gets the snowball rolling, he can definitely two-tap you. I'm looking to see if BTR's draft, can they kind of slow down Detective in the early game. I mean, they do have a box there already. They have an Arlet they can get prio for its lane, but how are they going to work together?
I'm not 100% sure, right? Because this is one of the few situations where it's actually beneficial for Finn to leave Zyve alone in that lane, right? Periodically to attack Detective, to slow his rotations down, right? On that purple buff, especially if the gold lane is going to be spawning on that side. They're on blue, so I'm guessing, looking at the map, yep, it's going to be on the top side, right? So we're expecting that Finn periodically walks in, slows down that orange buff, maybe shows up mid once in a while with the Iron Hook, and when the Iron Hook is on cooldown, walk back up to gold.
Yeah. And we'll be looking at OP to try and mirror him, right? Like it's pretty tough to kind of walk out to an Eda if she just beats the crap out of you. She should have the concussive blast that just instantly gives him the win. I think Finn also went for the support emblem, so not as tanky as you usually would be, but does allow his team to do slightly extra damage.
We'll see whether he took focusing mark this time round. Maybe Zyve can make something happen. I mean, technically the only way Finn wins this trade pre-level 4 is if he gets like an Iron Hook on Sing, or maybe OP, and then flickers underneath the tier 1. Then maybe there's a good chance that they win the lane.
I think the teams are ready. We should be getting back into the game just a little bit. CFU resolving the ping issues, feeling really good about this upcoming game. So without further ado, it is time to kick off the final best of 3 of the day. Bigetron Beta against CFU Gaming.
All right, we're actually getting to the game this time round, and hopefully Bigetron Beta can show us what it takes to beat CFU, who's already taken down Team Liquid. But this is for a qualification spot. All eyes on both of these teams. Good luck as they begin.
So interesting starting items. I mean, Narashi and Zai both went for defense. And early hook onto Detective, that's going to slow it down. Oh, just slightly resetting the buff, but Detective still clears it in time.
Yep, it does mean that Lynch has a millisecond of a lead when it comes down to the clearing speed here, and hopefully those milliseconds can be taken full advantage of. It looks like the gold is going to be on the bottom side of that map, right, as expected, but we do expect Finn to periodically leave every once in a while when he knows that Detective shows up.
And good secure dive gets the gold crab. And that means Finn also intends to get active, right? Focusing mark, pull yourself together. It's just about abusing that lower cooldown on the flicker to get picks starting at level 4. But topside, Wadu already found himself a substantial lead. At least in the lane, he gets to move first.
He moves first, but this is all for one single invade just to get Detective ahead.
Flicker, onwards, Earth Shatter, Terrify, Petrify, everything thrown, and first blood going over to Detective.
Well done. CFU Gaming, they always do this single set play. They get everybody involved. 4 players to make this lead actually worthwhile. And Dan QT, a little late on the call, but unfortunately can't do much about
Oh, Wadu. Actually, the Furious Dive, a bit of an error. Ends up giving his life away.
Oh.
Finn. He gets the point of Detective, but Tempest of Blaze, that should be an easy kill. Detective finds 2. And the timing for CFU, immaculate, right? Detective gets first blood, OP sucks up the mid lane XP.
Yep, and not even Zing gets the gets any side camps for free. Detective's like, no, I'm a hungry boy, let me eat.
I'm Ling.
Can't do much at this point of time because Bigetron Beta, they want to hit those level 4s. Dan QT especially, he's waiting for Narashi to actually get back into this lane.
So no Petrify for Wadu for another 20 seconds. Final slash stolen by Z. And CFU Gaming on the board right out the gates. Detective, he is still same level as Lynch, but if he clears his orange buff, he will be ahead.
Yeah, and I think that CFU Gaming, they don't even care about the turtle. It's all about winning this fight and getting Detective even further ahead, right? Final stash on Z.
Diversion. Oh, Wadu, he just walked out of it, but they saw Narashi. He's gonna be busy with Wadu, and now big combo. Detective gets the turtle, Tempest of Blaze drops down, and everyone starts dropping like flies. And Rashi finds the final slash. Detective will be collected, but Wadu kills off Dan QT. He might be sacrificed, jumps away with the Furious Dive. Zing also shows up, entropy from Dive. Both Z and Wadu gets out, and Zing is looking to get Dive. Flickers for the kill, dashes to safety. Narashi gets the stun, but no reset. With the morning 4, Z comes in to back him up. Zing finds a double kill.
And CFU once again just showing that it ain't no fluke. They're just better. They're just better in these fights. I'm unable to find any active trades against CFU. But look at this fight, right? This engage was so good, but Narashi turns it around with that final slash, allowing himself to create an opening to kill Detective. So that's going to slow him down, and the gold, the shutdown gold, is very much appreciated.
But, I mean, not picking out Z and Wadu, and Z returning to help Xing. I believe they did get a kill down bot. Once it's repadding, Xing did go down. But overall, the aggression from CFU on parallel. So OP also ended up dying. So it's OP and Wadu that went down.
Yep, they were trying to be proactive on the top side of the map with an early lane swap, trying to get the EXPs involved here. Oh, looks like we're back in the action and purple buff being contested.
Xing, bursted, but not enough to kill him off. Detective onto Lynch, Black Dragon form committed from Wadu. They want this box and they will get it.
Yep, they punish once again. Walk into my jungle, don't steal my camp, no problems with me. I'll take your life in trade.
Okay.
He lands it. Bloody Hunt.
I had to flicker.
Oh, scary stuff. Cancelled super early, and Wadu not even committing to the Petrify, which Finn was anticipating.
Yeah. So losing his flicker means for the next minute and a half, Bigetron Beta will slow down a bit. Turtle up, and Detective, he's gonna queue back out of the orange buff. But again, CFU Gaming, they don't care too much about the turtle. Good final slash. That is gonna be Z down. Wadu OP is around. Detective still wants to try, but this time not gonna commit to it.
Yep, turtle falling into the hands of Bigetron Beta. A pretty slow game here, but high kill count overall between both of these teams. CFU Gaming has been proactive, but so far they've been punished. Wait, Xing, is he okay here? Should be fine. Finn isn't able to close the distance.
They perhaps doesn't have the iron hook just yet. So CFU Gaming, well, they had to use the flicker on this carry. All this considered, right? Despite this fast opener, it's an even game. So Detective not running too far away, too far ahead with the lead. Entropy used and knows that Zyve is dead. Detective Can he find an opening? OP stunned up, pull back, had to use Primal Wrath to back up. And Detective actually going to commit. They want to take Lynch out. The damage from OP might be enough. Bloody Hunt is used. Suppression insufficient. And that's going to be 2 kills of CFU Gaming. Z once more steals the Bloody Hunt to give Detective a third.
What a good play from Z. What a good play, and they're not done yet.
Petrified knockout. That's 4 for CFU.
They don't stop. The momentum is building up. CFU finally crack open to tier 1. Tell me this game isn't exciting to watch. CFU always make it fun.
Unbelievable. A step closer to proving that yesterday, not just them hitting the jackpot. This is how CFU plays. Always on the hunt. And Bigetron Beta, just like that. They are 3,000 gold behind, lost top tier 2.
Significant plays here being made, but let's also look at the main win conditions, right? Detective currently second item complete with the Haas Claw. We look down at Zive, and it looks like he just finished his Starlium Scythe. Zing is 1 item away from the Trinity build, so it looks like in terms of tempo, it's definitely in the hands and advantage of CFU. I think the worst part is the fact that Detective, as of right now, while we transition into the mid game, is like full level ahead of Lynch.
Yeah, and half an item ahead of him as well. Means Zypima went for more cooldowns on his boots, right? So it's about maximum damage output. He knows that if he gets caught, he's dead anyway, so might as well go for the damage. CFU Gaming will get the 3rd turtle off the game. His diversion is nullified, unfortunately. Steals the purple buff from Lynch.
Oh, sad, sad, sad days. It feels like CFU just getting so much off of the turtle every single time. And now as we transition into the mid game, we're looking for that one big fight so that CFU can lock Bigetron Beta out of this game and set up for checkmate angle.
Detective, he's just chilling. What, 3 levels ahead, 2 levels ahead of Lynch. On Bigetron Beta, they are forced to huddle together to use Lynch as a bait.
Because they don't know. They don't know when exactly Detective is going to show up. Oh.
Bot side, actually, they end up finding Wadu, so Xing, at least he gets to get out.
Yep, preemptively using his flicker. Very good use. Doesn't want to fall down to 5 members of BTR Beta, but at the same time, we're not seeing the split push being implemented here because there's not a lot of out-of-tier turrets to actually fight for anymore. Bottom side is being taken care of by Bigetron Beta, but top side, with the missing tier 2, you would have expected CFU to maybe try and push it out.
I mean, CFU, they want this bot tier 1, it's the last outer-tier turret that is going to free up the map for Detective. Bigetron Beta continuing to stick together. Every time DanQT has a diversion, they look to make a play.
Level lead still being maintained by Detective, now turning into a 2-level lead. Looks like they don't want to get aggressive by invading this at this stage of the game. See if you understand that the next the next turtle fight is going to be by far the most important one.
They're going to gather their manpower on the bot side, this time making sure that Xing will get this tier 1. Bigetron Beta having to let it go. It's just not worth sticking together. But, I mean, that means DanQT is not going to get much resources, right? Most of them funnel into Lynch, but primarily the Natan.
Yeah, Zive is currently, where is he? He's currently like 1,300, 1,400 ahead of his opponent Zing at this point of time, and I think Bigetron Beta are just still playing this funneling strategy.
Yeah, I mean, they just got the Holy Crystal. This could be the big moment, diversion, to bring them closer to the Lord. OP sees this. Lynch gonna check. Now Jinx gonna pop his ultimate instantly. Back Dragon Form, that's the commitment of CFU. Harashi almost goes down, but maybe it doesn't matter, right? Final slash, a bit too late. Wadu finds a 3-man petrify. Gets suppressed, but OP finds a 2-man knockout. Detective had to exit the fight. The Holy Crystal working out from Dive as he finds a double kill. Lynch, he's still alive. Detective finds the kill, but Bigetron Beta finds the wipeout.
Oh, the 50-50 did not work out in CFU Gaming's favor. They got way too low here. DanQT's splash damage really causing a lot of havoc for CFU. You could see that the engage was looking real nice for CFU, but they overextended so much to close the distance that Zive was able to start melting them as they approached.
Yeah, I look at the damage. Del Zive did 11,000 damage in that fight. That's so the Holy Crystal.
He's so very, very strong, right? Even OP with the Radiant Armor just doesn't have enough to hold against him just yet. I mean, look at this, right? A 3-man Petrify coming in from Wadu gets locked down. They take away that Bloody Hunt, but now they all funnel into the auto attacks of Zive.
I mean, OP, he wanted to get the setup onto Zive, but the entropy reposition. Detective just ate a full energy blast. So Bigetron Beta completely nullifying this Lord advantage for CFU. But it doesn't seem like CFU is stopping. They're continuing.
I mean, they didn't lose anything off of it, and they have the Lord on the... Oh.
Now OP is so far forward. I didn't really get to fight this detective. Here's the back line. Wadu finds the stun! And actually works out. They get Zyve. So Bigetron Beta somehow losing that fight.
And now it's a 3v2. They can start threatening inhibitors at this point of time. They don't have the greatest wave clear with Narashi and Finn playing Franco and Arlet respectively.
Man, Wadu's Petrified came back up just in time. Wow.
It's literally like a one-touch situation, right? They find it, but now they're gonna back on out of here. The waves crash, but DanQT, Lynchin, as well as Zyve are gonna be back up online.
It just has to be some extra careful, because CFU, they are committed. They're throwing bodies. Look at the XP graph. Doesn't really tell the full story, but CFU Gaming, you can see that they have just been as aggressive as they humanly can be.
Yeah, I mean, if we're looking at it, because Zyve is funneling all the gold, everybody else on his team is very much under leveled. Like Wadu is 2 levels ahead of Narashi. If you compared Z in comparison to DanQT, a full level ahead. Zing is the only one who's down level onto Zyve because he's getting all the gold, but even Opie is a full level ahead of Finn.
Yeah, Zyve taking the pay slip and also taking tips from the customers. Everyone has to bow down to Lord Zyve. Just got the Winds of Nature. Could be Bloodwing's last item.
He's going to need everything. He's going to need everything here. How do they get out of this situation? I feel like so far Bigetron Beta are answering CFU Gaming's aggression with cold, calculated peel, right? They always funnel them into the jungle, and I think that CFU Gaming needs to recognize we need a wide open space to fight. We need them around this Lord Pit.
Is he missing that final slash? That's a good omen for Bigetron Beta. That could have been deadly, but still, CFU Gaming, they're going to clump up together. It's all about this Lord. Conceal play, OP looking for the flicker. Only on the Finn, but they're willing to commit onto the Furious Dive, actually stopping Lynch, but Narashi with the counter engage is getting melted down by Zing. Detective in the back. One side cannot find it. Narashi falls. OP continuing to fight through it. The immortality will break, but fight ending in the deaths of 2 for CFU.
Yep, 2 down, 1 in trade in Narashi. Finn had to use his flicker, but still has the bloody hunt.
And Zyve committing the entropy doesn't find Z.
I'm surprised he didn't one-shot him there, to be fair.
It's even flickered, just in case.
Yeah, well, I think it's okay. But now Bigetron Beta should be able to get this Lord without having much contention here. Then again, Lynch is 2 levels down on Detective. Detective can try to go for a drive-by.
Yeah, Finn has ult, and Detective shows himself. Can Finn catch him? The biggest catch, the biggest fish. Missing the Iron Hook, Tempest Ablaze, but decides that takes the Lord somehow! What's with junglers missing Red Trish today? And Zyve finds a killing spree.
I think it's worthwhile regardless for Bigetron Beta. Finally, after all the amount of aggression, they've caught back up. They scaled Zyve into a very good position to the point where CFU Gaming can't handle him with just one person. They need to send bodies at him. So far, so good. Bigetron Beta now, after equalizing that score and even the kill count, they want to take control over the map.
See how much damage they can do with this. Should be at least an inhibitor. Zyve committing, and that's Z dead.
Already finds 1, tier 2 now. If they get an inhibitor off of this, CFU is going to struggle a little bit for the next 3rd Lord. I don't think Bigetron Beta has enough or has what it takes to crack open their base this early on, but I think that CFU at this point must play defensively. They can't just take a random engage now.
The vacuum hook not committed yet. Lord crash, like Dragon form just to keep Bigetron Beta away, but inhibitor still falls. This is not a fight that CFU can take. But OP is already dead, overextended, Lord still alive. 2 more seconds for Z to come back, Zing committing everything. Trying to keep Bigetron Beta away. Detective taking the brunt of the damage from the yin-yang reaction. 2 inhibitors of CFU gone.
Yep, and they lose all of their inhibitors in one fell swoop. Bigetron Beta, they can do this. Oh!
Yep, Flicker, final stat catching Zing. He commits to the fight. Detective able to trade 1-for-1, but only Narashi though. They still need to take out Zyve. See, he goes the back, fights to terrify, but his team runs out of damage. Bigetron Beta survive the onslaught, and they take game 1.
Woo! This Franco, Finn on the Franco, making the difference here in this game. The threat of that bloody hunt really forces CFU to play in a very particular manner, and they're not used to it. Bigetron Beta, they cracked the code on this one 15 minutes into the